It happened 35,000 feet in the air, but it would shake the ground beneath one woman's feet. The luxury private jet was mid-flight from New York to Los Angeles. The passengers in first class sipped champagne, oblivious to the story about to unfold. Then a sound louder than turbulence. Every head turned. A white flight attendant, Mandy, stood frozen, her hand still raised from slapping a poised black woman seated in 1A. "You people always think you own everything. Now get out of this seat," Mandy snapped, her voice sharp and cold. But what Mandy didn't know was that the woman she just insulted and struck wasn't just a wealthy passenger. She was the billionaire owner of the entire airline, and this moment would change every life on that plane. The woman in the seat didn't flinch. Her name was Ava Sinclair, CEO of Sinclair Airline aviation empire she built from the ground up. She wore a sleek black pantsuit, her braids neatly tied back, and a Cartier watch on her wrist. Dignified, calm, powerful, but not flashy. To Mandy, she looked like someone out of place in first class. Her eyes didn't recognize wealth unless it looked like her. Ava had boarded the flight discreetly. She did that often, flying her own fleet to test service standards. Her team never informed crew in advance. It was part of her anonymous quality check program. So when Mandy demanded she move, then insulted her, and finally slapped her in front of half the cabin, she had no idea she had just assaulted the boss. "I suggest you step back before you ruin your life," Ava said, voice steady but cold as steel. Mandy laughed, thinking it was just a bluff, but the man in seat 1B, he wasn't laughing. He was Evan Carter, Ava's legal advisor, and he was already dialing corporate. The plane descended into awkward silence. Ava stood and walked calmly to the front galley. She didn't yell, she didn't threaten, she simply asked Mandy to call the captain. "Why?" Mandy scoffed, planning to complain. "No," Ava replied, "I'm about to restructure this flight's leadership, starting with you." Within moments, the captain appeared, confused, until Ava handed him her platinum Sinclair ID card. The captain's face turned white. He snapped to attention. "Ma'am, we didn't know. I'm so sorry. You shouldn't need to know who someone is to treat them with basic respect," Ava said. Passengers began whispering. A few pulled out phones. One woman whispered, "Is she the Ava Sinclair?" Back in first class, Mandy realized she had made a mistake, a very expensive mistake. When the flight landed, 2 Sinclair Airlines executives were waiting at the jet bridge. Mandy tried to explain. She wasn't on the list. "I didn't know, that's exactly the problem," Ava said. "You didn't know, but you assumed, and then you hit me." Tears welled in Mandy's eyes. "I was stressed. People like her always try to act above the rules." Ava raised a hand. "People like her, or people like me." Mandy fell silent. "This airline is built on dignity. I hire people who lift others up at 35,000 feet, not tear them down. Your badge, please." Mandy slowly unclipped her name tag, placed it in Ava's hand, and walked away. But Ava didn't stop there. Instead of canceling the rest of her schedule, she invited every flight crew member on that route to a team meeting to talk about unconscious bias and professionalism. It wasn't a punishment, it was an education. "I'm not here to fire people," she said. "I'm here to build a world where we all learn how to see one another again." Weeks passed. The story went viral, but not for the reasons most would expect. Ava didn't post about it. She didn't shame Mandy online. She let the moment speak through action. Mandy, after a period of reflection and counseling, reached out to Ava and asked for a chance to apologize in person. They met in a quiet cafe in Atlanta. "I thought I was protecting something," Mandy said tearfully. "But I was just protecting ignorance." Ava nodded. "The real seat you needed to give up wasn't 1A8, was the one labeled pride." They shook hands, then hugged, and as Sinclair Air launched a new training program called Altitude with Empathy, Ava's private encounter became a global movement. People everywhere, pilots, servers, receptionists, executives, began sharing their own stories of being misjudged, silenced, or overlooked. But Ava's message was clear. You don't need to own the plane to deserve respect. But sometimes the woman you push aside is already flying higher than you'll ever know. She thought she could humiliate a woman and walk away. She had no idea the woman owned the sky beneath her feet. Let this be a lesson. True power never needs to raise its voice. It just waits calmly until the world catches up.